After Tom Morris flipped over his bike's handlebars during a training accident and found out he broke his neck, two things happened almost immediately. One of the first things that happened was a decision made by a man who says he felt free while logging thousands of miles on his bike during training for Ironman events.
I think I stayed in the emergency room for about 3 days, and I immediately was like, well, we did need to, just getting moving again and stuff. And anyway, PTs came in, and we did do a little bit, but it wasn't until I got in the rehab center that you realize how many things you don't have working for you at that point. But it was like that at that point in that first week. They showed me what a hand cycle was, and they actually sat me down. And at the time, I didn't really like it. I didn't agree with it. But they showed you a video of like all these, all these different adaptive sports. And at that point, it was just kind of like, listen, this isn't for me. I'm just going to get back and whatever. But the reality was, is I knew I wanted to gain that independence back, and I wanted to get back into sport, and I wanted to get back into moving. So in that short amount of time, from seeing what kind of, adaptation or adaptive sport there are to the reality of just being able to actually get out there in the first week and a half, getting into a hand cycle and riding. And I still have pictures with me in a neck brace and riding that hand cycle up in Indianapolis. Even at that point, I couldn't even pedal the darn thing for more than 100 yards. And it was just so cool, though, the feeling of there is a lot of hope with this, and there's just going to have to be another way of going about doing everything. So that was it. It was almost immediately like, let's get back on the horse and figure out how to make this better.
Here's the other thing that happened almost immediately. Just a day after the accident, a Facebook page was set up called Tom's Team. It says the page is to offer Tom support, share information, and help him meet his upcoming needs. The emotional and financial support started rolling in. Morris is the director of sport performance at Indiana University, and he got a lot of support from his Hoosier family in Bloomington. Other strength and conditioning coaches from universities from around the country also reached out to him. He also felt the love from those back home in the Hazleton area.
Because that was the thing I didn't realize. You're kind of going through an accident, and everything that I'm viewing is just this support and this love and this feeling of overwhelming, support to make me thrive. And it wasn't until I really spent a lot of time in the rehab center that I started talking to more individuals that have, gone through this, that, they're there by themselves. They're there with maybe two, a parent here or there. They get a letter every once in a while, but they're doing this by themselves. And I just tried to put myself in that place and understand how much harder this would be. It's completely overwhelming to me. I just can't imagine that, because there's nothing that I am compared to them, except I end up having a support system and a lot of stuff that really, really helped me to thrive. So, with us, my wife and I immediately recognized this after we told stories, and, we were just sitting there thinking of that. And we just said, even back in the day, someday we're going to be able to turn and, help others, if it's financially or, just be able to be there to pick up the phone and, when somebody has to tell you some stuff. But we definitely need to, we wanted to be the people there to do that. And that's kind of where, the whole Tom's Team kind of came about, being that support system and being that charity that, hopefully will help out a lot of people financially, but more importantly, create that community of help and support to help and know that people are going to be there to be there to help you and help you every step of the way.
You can scroll back in time on Tom's Team's Facebook page and see just how far Morris has come as he gets ready to compete in his first Ironman race since his accident. Morris will be doing the biking portion of the race, his wife Krista will be running, and his friend Jason Durking will be swimming. Tom's Team started out as a support group for one man, and now that one man is rallying his team to help others. And that may be the most incredible part of Morris's amazing story. For FYI Sports, I'm Ken Kara.